Hi, I'm Laura,
Hi, I'm Cecilia.
and this is the Yarn Mews podcast.
It is. Again.
I just realized we don't have the overhead lights on. I think it's okay.
But if it's not, oh well, just pretend you're watching us in the dark.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of light coming in from the outside windows that are right in front of us, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I hope it's okay because I'm not re-recording it.
Me either. It's always my fear when I'm, uploading it and I'm, making it all pretty in the iMovie app, that something is going to be really wrong and that we'll have to re-record. Yeah.
The answer just being
Like
no.
No sound. Or
well, then we just put up some little signs in between and we'll pretend it's a silent movie.
oh, that'd be kind of fun, actually.
Yeah.
Or we could have a contest. The comment section could be, what are Laura and Cecilia talking about now? Yeah, I don't know.
Probably.
Anyway, one of my fears.
Well, hopefully not this week.
No.
So you want to talk about that baby thing you're making?
Oh, sure. I'm making a little romper. Let's see if I can show you. Problem is I haven't sewn the pleat down, so
it's
there's not a hole right there in the middle. That's an actual pleat.
It's not a little keyhole thing
So it
for
goes
your
kind of
sexy
like
baby.
that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty close to the end. I just have, maybe 3 more stripes, 2 more stripes. I'm not really sure how many stripes I have left to do. And then I have to do the diaper part. And then probably going to send it to our finisher to put the snaps in because I don't want to do that.
No.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work for someone
anyway,
like
pretty
you.
cute. It's called Rainbow Romper. It's an odd pattern on Ravelry. If you go to Ravelry and you look at Rainbow Romper, I will send you to their website for the free pattern. Well, the free pattern is only size 12 to 24 months. I think that's the sizing.
I think that's what you said before.
And it's like a photo tutorial kinda. If you want the actual pattern, it's $1. It's like 160 euros or something like that, which comes to about, it's less than $2. But if you want a different size, you have to pay again. So, and if you want a smaller size, it's not available for free at all on her website. It's weird. Anyway, I paid for the printed pattern just because I thought, it'd be a good idea to have here in the store. But if you're making the 12 to 24 month size, you don't have to do that. You can just have it for free. And it's pretty well written. I mean, the photo tutorials help. There have been a couple of things. It's a Spanish pattern, so there are a couple of things that maybe were lost in translation or something, but
it happens sometimes.
Overall, it's pretty good. So
that can,
except it's done flat, and I converted it to knit in the round. So I'll have some notes here in the store that talk about where I did that and that type of thing. So.
Well, I am still working on this melon, whatever. I'm getting close.
You are, because you're not very tall. So
I am not very tall.
Shouldn't take you much more.
And then I will do sleeves, because it has sleeves.
That's a good plan. Although you could do sleeveless if you wanted to.
I don't think so. I mean, it's pretty heavy material for a sleeveless thing. I mean,
well, and as cold as you've been this winter, I think you should have the sleeves.
I think so too.
Personally.
Been cold, so cold all winter.
Yep. I came in this morning. Came in late, and she had been here for a while, and she had a long sleeve sweater from inside the store, one of our samples on, and she had fingerless mitts on. And she was like, I'm so cold. I'm like, it's 70 degrees in here.
She claims it's 70. It sure didn't feel
70. 70 degrees in here.
It was really cold. I don't know what she's talking about. I was freezing. My fingers were like little icicles.
Yeah. So anyhow.
I'm cold all the time. Yeah. Basically, it's the upshot of it.
That's what happens when you lose so much weight.
Yeah, well, it's probably for the best. But I still would like to not be cold all the time.
That's, I think a geographic cure might be the answer.
I don't want to move away.
We were having this conversation on the walk today, and I said, once again, why do we live in this climate? And Cecilia said,
I told her it's because she loves her husband.
no, that's not what you said.
I
well,
said
you
because
said
it
that
makes
too.
us sturdy and hard,
right.
but not her because she's from somewhere south and
Yeah.
they already weakened her.
And
too
she said, if you stay here because you love your husband. I said, yeah, but I think I'd love him just as much anywhere else.
Yeah, but I don't know that Tom would.
Yeah.
It's a good Minnesotan.
He is. He's definitely Minnesotan. As are my children.
Yeah. So would you want to move away from them?
I mean, not that I want to move back to Texas, mind you, because it was 2 weeks ago my sister, who lives in Austin, Texas, posted that it was 91 degrees. No, don't want to do that in February either. I don't remember having those high temperatures when I was growing up down there in the middle of the winter. I mean, I'm sure we had some days that were in like the 70s, maybe low 80s.
That's heinous.
But that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's just these crazy weather extremes that we're having with climate change, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's no good. But I would have to be somewhere where there'd be weather and snow, and I need weather. I can't have it be the same all the time. It kills me.
Yeah, well, it was never all the same in Texas either. I mean, the winter was definitely the winter because it was rainy and chilly, in the 50s, probably. I'm sure some days were more cold than that, but it's that kind of cold that kind of goes through you because it's so damp.
Yeah.
I mean, here, my fingers are driving me crazy because they're so dry right now. And I'm working with these really pointier tips than I like to work with. So I've got a little hole in my finger, and then all the skin around it is all dry and scaly. And the next finger over, I've got a crack. Just hate that about Minnesota.
Yeah.
Well, any arid climate, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's how my fingers have always been, so.
Oh, it drives me crazy.
One day I was listening to one of my true crime podcasts, and it was one of these ones where it was an unsolved murder mystery thing. So it's the thing of, what did this person, were they killed, or was it suicide, or was it just an accidental thing, whatever. I don't remember what the case was. But they were like, oh yeah, when they said her hands on her knuckles were full of little cuts and like bruising type of red marks kind of thing. And I look down as I'm typing, and every single one of my things have little cuts.
You do.
And it's like, well, that's just winter. I was like, I hope I don't die on my way home, or people will think I was out fighting. Because I was like, no, that's not necessarily the case.
I don't have any of that on my knuckles. How do you get that on your knuckles?
My skin is so dry that it's not bad now, but there have been winters where I can just do this and every single one will pop open.
Hey, do you have scissors on you?
No.
Neither do I.
Sorry.
I guess this extra yarn's just, no. I'll just stick it on the inside of that and take care of it later.
Yeah.
I knitted in the end as I was going, so I just wanted to cut it off.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just have really dry skin.
Lucky us. My hair is also driving me crazy because it's a little long right now, and some days it just doesn't have any curl in it.
I understand that.
Yeah.
That's why I just go and get mine all cut off, and then after a week or so it does look pretty good. I don't know how it's looking today.
Well, I was supposed to get my hair cut this week, but I postponed it until next week because just because. Well, I was supposed to get it cut on Thursday, and I've got a dinner to go to on Thursday night, and I just didn't want to.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to deal with that.
I didn't want to have my hair looking all different than what I normally do, because, of course, she dries it a little different than I do.
Yeah. I do know.
Sometimes it looks better, and sometimes it just doesn't look like me. So.
Yeah, I get that.
So I postponed it. So you'll have to just hear me complaining about my hair for another week.
She complains about everything. It's okay.
Yeah, whatever.
I have to say, my in-laws, I talked to them. They're in New Mexico. They live up in the mountains. And so they get, winter. It's snow and everything there. And they're like, oh, I saw it was below zero the other day. Did it get above zero? And I said, oh, yeah, it was really nice. It got to be like 18. It was beautiful, They started to laugh, and they're like, really, I think it must be where you're at, because, it's like, we went to San Diego, and it was in, like, the 50s, and people were complaining it was too cold. This is my mother-in-law saying this, and my father-in-law said, that was me complaining it was too cold. So they were having temperatures above freezing there. So it was getting up to like 50 during the day and stuff. So
yeah.
But it was funny because I was like, it was beautiful.
Well, Cecilia and I went out for an almost 20-minute walk today.
Mm-hmm.
It was fine. I mean, there were...
The wind was...
Walking one direction, the wind was
not
being very pleasant, but,
No.
But we survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't freeze to death.
No.
I didn't have to eat her like the Donner Party. Did you ever see that American Experience about the Donner Party?
No.
Oh, I'd recommend it. But one of the guys who survived was like, I liked eating people. And then he went to San Francisco and he opened a restaurant. I thought, who's going to eat at this dude's restaurant? I mean, who does that? It's like, people are delicious. Come to my restaurant.
No.
I assume he wasn't serving,
or
humans. Cooking humans, yeah, same thing. But
yeah.
it was an odd thing. I learned things I didn't know about him.
Yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest issue right now with this pattern is that I have to keep looking at my hands because the yarn's a little splitty.
Yeah.
And so I just have to keep looking, so I can't look up at the camera. Sorry. I'm just ignoring you.
She's a terrible hostess.
Yeah. So I suppose, and we don't have very much to talk about today. It'll be interesting to see if we end up at 50 minutes again.
Yeah.
I always think, oh, that was short, and then I look at the time and it's like, no.
No.
But anyway, we have a new color from Knitted Wit. So we belong to their Sassy Holidays Club. So each month they pick a celebrate. Highlight, celebrate, whatever. And they create a color around that. And this month's holiday is Worldwide Women's Day.
Women's Day.
Or something like that.
Women's Day or something.
Yeah.
Some sort of Women's Day.
Women's Day.
Not the magazine.
And the color is called Only One Day. And
which
here
is
it
true.
Yeah. Isn't it pretty?
It is pretty.
So this is on the fingering, on their 100% merino fingering. I think it's just really pretty. Yeah, so I've got that. We just haven't had much new come in lately.
No, it's kind of that time of year where it's the lull between winter stuff.
And shop hop.
Hop and then summer stuff.
Right. I do have a spring yarn coming in. Hopefully, I think it should arrive next week. This week, yeah, from Barocco. It's a bulky tape yarn.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that should be coming soon.
We
have new Pom Pom magazine, and it's got, not only does it have some cute knit patterns, but it also has some cute crochet patterns. I love this little top. I think that's adorable.
It is.
Speaking of crochet, so every shop hop we do 2 patterns. We do a knitted pattern, we do a crocheted pattern, and lately it's been that I've done the knitted pattern and Shelly's done our crochet pattern, and Shelly's been working on the crochet pattern. She said, yeah, I should have it done next week and I'll bring it in for you to test crochet. And I looked at her and went, oh, I don't think I've crocheted since last year when I test crocheted the pattern. And maybe we should try to find somebody else to test crochet it since I crochet very rarely. I don't know what's going to happen.
I volunteer to do it, but you always say that I can't crochet.
No. Not happening.
Fine. It's all right.
I'll look at the pattern.
I don't want to crochet it anyway.
Yeah, well,
it's
whatever.
probably stupid.
It's Shelley's pattern. I'm sure it's not stupid.
No, I'm sure it'll be fine. Although I can't do anything with the yarn, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So the something that Shelley just knit is this cute little sweater.
It is
made out
fabulous.
of
Fire.
yeah, Wool Addicts Fire. I think it's really cute. And it didn't take her very long because it's a super bulky yarn. So yeah.
But it doesn't look super bulky.
Yeah.
You know, looks really quite nice.
I don't remember the name of it. Although, oh yeah, the tag's back here. Here, wait, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah. It's called Summit View, and it took
8 balls.
yeah, that's weird. Interesting note on the back.
Well, that's
Yeah,
because
it called for 9 balls, but she didn't need it. So
Yeah, and it was because I remember her discussing it as she was doing it. It's like, this isn't going to use all this yarn, you know.
So
And,
anyway, it's really cute.
and that was even going down a needle size to get gauge. So
And since it was -10 or something like that this morning, this would be a perfect sweater to wear on
whip
a
it
day
up
like
and-
that.
Yeah, it would.
So
It'd be nice.
quite cute. What else do we have to talk about today? Well, let's see. We've gone all of 16 minutes.
Wow. Well, we got.
Oh, I know, but go ahead. You say what you're going to say.
I was going to say we got book club coming up later this week. So
Yes, we do. Orphan Master's
if
Son.
you read fast, or you've read it before, or you just want to come and hang out with us, I'll be there. Hopefully, I'll have the book finished by then because I started a little late.
I read it a few months ago, and
So she's
I have to just remember.
which
which
is
is-
just as bad,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, it is. I seriously thought about flying through it this week, but I listened to it rather than read it on my
Yeah.
Kindle or a real book, and it's hard to do that, to fly through it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could listen to it at really high speed because you can pick, 2 times speed or something, but then it's not as enjoyable.
No.
So I'll just have to remember as much as I can.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Other events we've got coming up, and we've talked about all of them already,
All of
but
them are coming.
next week we have the June Cashmere event, and if you haven't signed up for that yet, please do.
Yes.
Well, first of all, Amy from June Cashmere is coming to talk with us, to talk about what their process is, how they help the Kyrgyz shepherds and their families, moving the mill from Scotland to Kyrgyzstan, and all that kind of stuff. And she's going to be bringing lots and lots of samples. So on Monday evening at 6, we have what I'm calling a discovery session and a pop-up shop. And then on Tuesday morning at 10:30, we have another one.
Yeah.
So if you can't make it Monday night, come Tuesday morning or vice versa. But you have to call and register in advance. We have a limited number of spaces. We're not really anywhere close to filling at this point. But I hate to, have a bunch of people show up and then we have to turn people away because we just don't have room for them.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's been some things about the signing up online, and people have been able to do it, and other people said they tried and they couldn't. I'm not sure what's going on there because I went through it and I was able to sign up. But I do know that it might be confusing because you have to pick a shipping method just because of that is how our website works. We will not charge you for shipping. It's just, you have to just pick the cheapest one or whatever. And I think that might be part of the issue. But
heck, you could pick in-store pickup.
you could, yeah. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
But yeah, that's why. I think, but I'm not sure because, when people call, they're just like, it wouldn't let me do it. And so it's very vague.
Yeah.
But if you can't do it, just call. We'll just take your name and your phone number.
Or email.
Or email.
You can use the contact us form through our website.
Yep.
So that's coming up. And then the next event is Shop Hop, which is April 4th through 7th. And
Man, it's almost here.
I know, it's crazy. And then the next one after that is we have Faina Goberstein coming to teach a couple of classes April 26th. She'll be teaching classes on slip stitch knitting, 2 different ones, one on reversible and one on mosaic. And then the day after that is we'll have a booth at the Minnesota Knitters Guild Yarn Over, which is their 1-day workshop.
Yep.
And then after that, we've got, on the same day as that, it's also LYS Day. So
We got stuff going on in here.
we'll
for
have
that.
stuff going on in here at the store while some of us are at the Yarn Over Marketplace. And then after that, the next thing I believe is Cloud 9. June
Yeah.
28th through 30th.
And that's, the classes have been filling up. So, and if you sign up online, which you are welcome to do, just make sure you put in the notes what classes you want to take. Because, like I said, they've been going pretty briskly. So I want to make sure everyone is able to get into the class they want.
Absolutely.
And right now we're in the stages of choosing our giveaway, because we like to give stuff to the people who sign up for the whole thing.
I could show you what our bag was last year, because we have one left over, and it's gonna be part of our prize today for somebody listening to our podcast. But this is our bag from last year.
Yes, and
So-
it was filled with goodies from
Yep.
our suppliers. So I'm working on all that right now as we speak. So
Yeah.
it'll be very exciting.
It will be. I'm still trying to decide whether or not to have other vendors at our marketplace.
I don't know.
I don't know, I go back and forth on it. So last year, we had 3 other vendors in our marketplace just on Saturday. And the marketplace is just really, we have this big room and 2 classrooms. And the big room is split up into like a area for eating or just sitting and chatting or whatever, that kind of thing. And then the other side we devoted to this marketplace, and we had a big booth, and then we had 3 vendors who had small booths. And while we had, I don't know, 24 participants or something, and of course they bought stuff, and some of them bought from all the booths, but we didn't really have very many people come from outside who weren't taking classes.
Yeah.
Which I thought maybe we would. So the sales just were not that great for the other vendors, and I feel bad having them come. Check's at the door.
Oh.
Never fails. Tell him to check with us before he decides to come on Mondays. Anyway, I'm just trying to decide whether we should have vendors again. I hate to make them come and do all the setup and then not have very many sales. So anyway, trying to decide. I've had one vendor who wasn't there last year who's interested, and she keeps emailing me, and I had to just decide this week whether I'm going to do it or not. But I know we'll have a nice big booth and lots of fun items for purchase. So, yeah. And let's see what else is going on. I think those are the only events that are happening. And other things that are going on in the store, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to do a movie night in the store, because we have a TV and we're connected with Netflix and YouTube and all sorts of things. And so I thought, well, it could be kind of fun to do a movie night. I just haven't gotten that set up yet, so I'll work on that. So maybe one thing that you guys could comment on today, in order to be entered in the prize, is to comment what you would like to see for us to show as a movie night. Keep in mind, it has to be on Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hulu, the big major ones, in order for us to show it. So let me know. It would be a complimentary event, so free to anybody who wants to come. We'll set up some chairs and just sit and knit and watch tea things to say.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. So, I talked about what they could, I talked about movie nights and that they could suggest a movie.
Yes, please do.
For us in the comments, be entered in the prize. And in addition to that bag I just showed, we're also going to give this away. It is a skein of tiara. It's from Skacel, or Haiku. Sorry, Haiku. Pretty. It's got beads in it. Can you see those? Oh, there you go. Now you can see them. And our winner for the last episode was Dottie.
Hey, Dottie.
So, Dottie, I'll mail off your gift since I know you can't come pick it up. But you should come up here sometime. Maybe you should come up for Shop Hop.
Yeah.
That's a fun event to come to.
Or Cloud 9.
Cloud 9 would be even better. Because then you get to sit and chat and get to know all of us.
Yeah.
I know you just went to Stitches, so I know you like that kind of thing. So
Stitches West.
Yeah.
Must have been.
Yeah. I think she said it was in Reno. Does that sound right?
No, Stitches West is in Santa Clara. Must be different Stitches. They've got all sorts of like destination ones.
Yeah, true.
So it could have been one of those. Because I thought about doing the destination one in New Mexico. Because then
You could go visit your Rellies too.
Charles could go visit them, and I could go to the thing, and then, you know.
And then you fly back together.
Yeah.
You
know. Well, it's, you know, it's close. We could do some stuff together.
Yeah.
But it would be, you know. We've done a similar thing before where we went to Taos Wool Festival.
Oh, fun.
So.
How was that?
It was awesome. Totally would recommend anyone who could go to go. I took classes on doing natural dyeing, which the person who I did that with used to have a shop there in Taos, but they don't anymore, so I think she's probably stopped doing the dyeing thing. So, but, you know, I will say this, it was the one morning we got up early, Charles and I, we drove out to some canyon to look, you know, and it was chilly. I mean, it was like 38, 40 degrees. Right. So, you know, and it's up in the mountains. So, and we're standing there looking over these canyons, and I said, oh my God, there's people out there in a hot air balloon. That must be freezing. So then later on in the day, we're having the class, and one of the gals was like, oh yeah, my friend went out on the hot air balloon this morning. It's like, oh my gosh. You're like, I said, we saw them. And I thought, it must be cold. And she's like, oh yeah, she said it was really, really cold. But they were like proposing or getting married or some romantic-y thing, which wouldn't be a thing I'd want to do. But
have you ever done a hot air balloon?
No, I don't love heights.
Yeah, I did it in Bruges, Belgium. Not this past trip, but previous trip. And I actually really liked it. I thought it was cool. Tom, not so much, which surprised me because, you know, he has his pilot's license, so it's not a height thing. But it was that the basket, so you're standing in a basket, right?
Yeah.
And the basket hit him right about the angle of his, where he would bend, you know, at the tops of your legs. And it just felt a little too
like he might tibble
iffy.
Over the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it hit me near the waist, so it was fine by me. I didn't feel like I was going to fall out or anything. But,
yeah. No, well, you know, New Mexico is known for their hot air ballooning.
Yeah.
And so, although I have never went to the balloon fiesta, I have heard tell it's quite a thing, and we have seen the balloons coming and going, like on the back of, like, you see this pickup truck and there's a basket in the back of it, kind of thing, you know. So, but Charles has been to it. Although he said last time he went, they had gotten bad instructions for takeoff, and then the wind came up, and some people flew into power lines.
Ooh, that's not good.
No, it put a damper on said fiesta.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that would.
That would. But it's like a week-long deal in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
But Albuquerque's a lot warmer than Taos, because desert versus...
Right. I've been to Albuquerque
mountains.
a couple of times.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been to Albuquerque many times.
Yeah. What else is going on, Cecilia? Do you have any fun plans? I know you're going to Cuba this fall.
I am. I'm going to Cuba in November. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I
I had a friend who just went, and he said it was fabulous. So
I am totally excited.
Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about my tidying up.
Yes.
So
You're doing things, not me.
yeah, so recently I started watching the Marie Kondo series on Netflix called Tidying Up, and it's all about this expert who's Japanese, and she's an expert in tidying up.
That's what she's an expert at.
And the show intrigued me, and it was great because, I talked about we were redoing my master bedroom and bathroom, and so I used her techniques when I brought so I had already cleared out everything out of the bedroom and bathroom before I started watching the show, but when I was putting it back, I went through everything and said, yeah, I'm not going to ever use this. I mean, I had done some of that before, but then I put everything away using her methods, which I thought were really good. Like, for instance, she has you fold your clothes so that they stand up in your drawer so you can see everything instead of having to go through the piles. I mean, it just saves so much time.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
So last weekend, the last weekend in February, I decided I was going to tackle my yarn stash. So I went around the house and I collected everything from everywhere and piled it all up in my sewing room on my cutting table, and except that I had some things in the room, like a couple of big containers and a couple of drawerfuls of yarn, and I left those where they were. But then all day that Sunday, I started going through it, and I started making a pile for a charity organization that I'm going to donate it to. It's called the Culver's Knitwits. They meet at a Culver's up in North Minneapolis someplace, or Blaine, or someplace up north. And they only knit for charity. So they've got like 20 charities that they knit for, from hats for the homeless to preemie caps to knitted knockers, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They'll use anything that they get, and they're always looking for yarn and stuff. So, and anything that they can't use, they donate to the Textile Center of Minnesota. So that stuff goes into the garage sale for the Textile Center.
Yeah.
So I had a garbage bag to put things like that in, and then I made piles of things that I couldn't decide about, and piles of things that I wanted to keep, and the things I wanted to keep I started putting onto Ravelry. So I've
Always good.
put most of my stash on Ravelry. I have a few more things to do so I couldn't finish it all in one day. I worked on it for like 6 hours.
No, that's not an
on
all
that
one day
Sunday.
project. Yeah.
And then yesterday I worked on it for another 4 or 5 hours. Still not done. And the reason I'm not done is because I was so excited. I went to Tom and I said, I've touched every skein of yarn. I've made my decisions. It's great. I'm going to go to Target and buy bins to pack these things in. And my goal for the bins was that they would be deep enough in order to fit a skein upright.
Oh.
And that they would be clear, a clear lid, a clear body, so that I could see in from the top, or I could see in from the sides, right? And so I went and I bought 3 big ones that would do this way, and then I bought 1 narrow one because I had some balls of yarn that I thought would work better in that. Of course, I should have bought 3 of those of that shape. So I'll have to go back. But as I was starting to pack that stuff up, I thought, there are things in my stash on Ravelry that I put in a while ago, and I know I still have that someplace. Where the heck is that stuff?
Uh-oh.
And then I realized that I had not emptied out one of the drawers, and I had to go lay down for a few minutes. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, I have to do more. So I'll throw up some pictures on here. I did one tall bin of worsted weight where I have everything standing up so I can see it when I'm looking in the top. And then I've got a, I'll throw in a picture of the one flat, narrow one that I've got, units, so you can see what it looks like and what it will look like in my closet. They'll have to be stacked in my closet because I don't have shelf space for them or anything. And then I'll show you the pile of stuff that's going to to the Culver's Knitwits because it's pretty darn big. And then I brought Cecilia some stuff today.
Yeah, she did, because she's awesome.
Yeah. So, and you know, not only did I find a lot of yarn, I also found a lot of things that I had partially worked on. A couple of which I kept. I've got this really cool Noragon sweater with hexagons and
Is it modular?
Yeah, it's modular, but it's a solid and then a variegated, and it's pretty cool looking. I just need to figure out where I am and finish it. It's bulky yarn, so it shouldn't take me that long, right?
No, get it done this weekend.
Sure. And then I found, I finally, anyway, the gist of this is that I threw away a bunch of stuff that I had worked on that was never going to be finished. There was a whole sweater made out of this pink, kind of mauvey mohair blend, and it was pretty, and it was almost done. I was just on the collar, and I looked at it and went, no, I'm not going to finish it. I'm not going to do it. And I thought, you know, well, maybe I should finish it and then donate it. And then I thought, yeah, it's not going to happen. It's going to sit here for another 10 years.
Yeah.
Because, longer than that, because you know what? I worked on that in my old house, and I've lived in my new house for 18 years. So, just not going to happen. Might as well just give it up. And some of that yarn, no, I didn't give you any of that. My 10-year Afghan, which again, I started in my old house. I threw that one away and gave all the yarn away. It's all this Alice Starmore yarn, and which I wish I had pulled out for you because you would have loved it. But it's in it's in one of the 3 gigantic trash bags, and I'm not going through the trash bags. Somebody else will love it.
Yes, they will.
I found 4 single socks with. Well, one of them, I know the other sock is in a bag in my car because it's my, you know, oh my gosh, I don't have anything to knit and I know I'm going to have to sit for a little bit project, although I took it with me this morning when I saw my myofascial guy and I was going to pull it out and then I realized, oh yeah, the reason I haven't knit on this in a while is because I need that single sock someplace in my room so I can see what I'm supposed to do next because there's some patterning and I don't know when to stop it. So yeah. But yeah, I decided I should definitely not ever do single socks again. I should always do 2 at a time.
Well, there you go.
And I just,
you know what?
I threw away a bunch of
You should
stuff.
take that Kate Atherley one and then you can just do them in one.
Well, I mean, I know how to do 2 at a time with a magic loop or 2 at a time.
I know, but
2
it's
circulars.
so much better just to do it inside the one.
Yeah, maybe.
Because then it's like a little special treat.
Yeah, maybe.
Everyone should sign up for that class is what I'm trying to say.
You know, maybe
awesome.
I will because I have that. I have. So we had a trunk show with Knit Circus years ago, and they had a deal where 2 balls wound up so you could have matching socks, kind of like unique sock kits. And I have that yarn I could do.
That'd be awesome.
But I don't know. I'm not. You know, I don't love my hand knit socks. Just wearing them, so I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
If I ever actually finished a pair of them, I would love them.
I mean, I have a pair that I finished in the fall sometime or last summer, and I ran through the heel of it really quickly, which is weird because I don't normally run through the heel, so I didn't put any reinforcing thread there because I normally run through my socks at the ball of the foot. It's just what I do. So, you know, that whole conversation we had last time about darning and that I should get hold of Elizabeth, is that who it is, from Treadle Yard Goods and see if she'd come and teach a class on darning here.
I think that'd be
I
good.
need her.
Yes, we need her.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if I could make mitts out of that sock yarn too,
Could.
which would work just as well.
Yes.
You could do those two at a time as well.
You could. It's funny, I don't ever have the single syndrome with like gloves or mittens.
No, I don't either.
It's just socks.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yep.
Maybe it's because of that heel thing. I don't know.
I don't know. The heel's not that hard though.
I know, which is...
I think maybe it's the Kitchener-ing at the toe.
No, see, that doesn't bother me. I just get out my little instructions and...
Oh, I know, me too,
Front, back, you know. I don't... I bought that little keychain, so I would be able to have it. And...
I have, I found a lot of patterns and receipts and stuff like that I either tossed or recycled, depending on whether they were recyclable.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just stuff. You know, there was just a lot of stuff. I found a lot of stitch markers. I found a lot of chapstick type things that were so old that there was no way I was going to even open them up.
Yeah, just throw those away.
Yeah, lots. And a few lotions also just threw those away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I'm excited about it because some of the stuff I threw away, I just had really been weighing on me about, like I had bought this beautiful boucle wool yarn. It was a commercial, you know, it's not a hand dye, it's not anything special. And I had bought a pattern book as well. And I thought, every time I looked at it, I thought, oh, I don't want to knit that now. Oh, I don't want to knit that now. And then I looked at it as I'd been going through so many things. And after a while, you really start going, yeah, don't need that. Yeah, don't need that. And I looked at that and went, yeah, I'm just not ever going to make that. But somebody at Culver's Knitwits, maybe they'll make it and give it to some organization and somebody will wear it and it'll be doing some good. It's just not doing me any good and it's creating a level of stress about my yarn that I don't need anymore.
No, if there's stuff you're just never going to use, you should just, kick to the curb, man.
Yeah. So as I was talking about doing this last week, and I posted on Instagram pictures, like of my stash and what I've been doing, and Cecilia said, oh, that's nothing. I have
42 of the big, 13-gallon. Well, that's sort of when I stopped counting because I have stuff that's in other ones. And
is that all yarn?
Yeah, it's all yarn.
Okay. Why? And where do you keep it in your little house?
It's stacked up. Well, a lot of it's upstairs and some of it's in the craft room, just in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't gotten to that part yet of the getting rid of with that.
Yeah.
I focused mostly this past year or so on clothes and other stuff. When we redid our bathroom, which is done. No longer have a hole in the floor. And we had the weird guy come and paint it this weekend, and it looks good. But when we were emptying it, so they could come and do the things, there was just stuff in there. It's there were things in there from when Serena was a teenager.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, okay, this box of makeup and crap, that was hers when she was a teenager. Probably not good anymore. And she don't live here. She didn't want it bad enough to take it with her, so it went in the trash. We threw out a whole bunch of stuff. So, yeah, we've been working on some stuff. When we got the Marie Kondo book, I think her stuff is actually pretty good. I think she has a good philosophy. I don't know that I could ever get pared down as much as she obviously is.
No, I don't think I could either.
But I understand what she's getting at with it. And at that point, I did a whole bunch of clothes. And since then, of course, I've been losing weight since then. And so I have almost no clothes. I mean, it's to the point where it's like, I don't even have a sweatshirt. This weekend, yesterday, I just wanted to throw on a sweatshirt. I'm like, I don't own a sweatshirt. How can I not own a sweatshirt, of all things? And I just really wished I'd had a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Instead, I dug through a box and I found one of my dad's old flannel shirts. And I'm like, oh, I'll wear this.
Perfect.
So that's what I wore instead.
Yeah.
But because I didn't get rid of any of those because my dad.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
You
those
know.
are sentimental things. so.
Yeah. And I'm, it's funny because people will say things like, well, you have the memories. But the truth of the matter is your memory is such that you don't. They will go away if you don't actively use those memories. And so, like, I remember Serena and I were going through this box of photos. And I'm trying to, tell her what's going on. And there were things where it's like, I looked at this picture. I'm like, oh my God, I have not thought about this event for 30 years.
Yeah.
And I'd tell stories and laugh. And I never would have told her those stories because I really, literally had not thought about it.
Yeah.
And so there's just stuff I own that it makes me think of things.
Yeah.
And so.
I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons why I have not gotten rid of more than just a few things that I've knit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I found a box full of things that I had knit for the kids over the years.
Yeah.
And I was pulling them out and going, oh, I remember this little bunny outfit that I made to carry the babies around in. Some Debbie Bliss bunny thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's okay. Yeah.
And maybe someday someone will have a baby you can shove it in.
Yeah, maybe.
You never can tell.
Yeah, there has been some talk, but I'm not going to say anything else because it's just talk right now.
It's just talk, but, things happen.
Yeah.
Babies show up sometimes.
You know what my daughter's talking about doing? Not having a baby.
No?
She's talking about moving to Hawaii to work on a coffee farm.
Wow. That seems like a lot of work.
She's done it before in Guatemala.
Yeah.
So, and it's through some organization, I don't know.
Oh.
So, I don't know. She's just thinking about doing it through June, and then who knows what she'll do next. Apparently, Peace Corps is off the table.
Oh.
So, not that, I don't even think she's heard from them yet.
Yeah.
I think she's just decided that she doesn't want to go to the Philippines. And
Yeah.
so there you go.
There you go.
And Kit's still living at home. That's all I know.
Kit.
But he's got plans. He's got plans for the summer and fall, so that's good.
Yes, plans are good.
Yep. Well, anything else?
No, I got nothing else.
I just have to see. 48 minutes. Look, we're at the 50-minute mark again. How does this happen?
We can't
Now, I
help
will be
ourselves.
cutting out all the stuff with Chuck,
Yes,
our
Chuck.
UPS guy. Of course, now that I said it, now I feel funny cutting it out.
Cut it out. It's
Ah,
okay. You can cut this
yeah.
part out too.
Yeah, probably.
You can be in the clip show.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, thanks for joining us again today, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Bye.